I think the part about being a widow, the hardest part about being a widow is being by yourself all the time and learning to be okay with being by yourself all the time. At this point, to be honest, I am struggling with that. Been struggling with it all week. You know, I never knew what my mama went through when I was a junior in high school and my dad passed away. She had married the love of her life. And then at a young age, even younger than me, because I was in my 50s. I believe she was still in her later 30s, early 40s, if I'm not mistaken. Mom, you can correct me in the comments if you want, because that was back in 1984. So, yeah. So I will say, and I know my fellow widows that will see this, even if you aren't a widow and you're by yourself or unmarried, never gotten married, or divorced out of a relationship, being by yourself is hard. And my mom encouraged me today. Her and her husband, Paul, they can't go to church right now. And so she was listening to a minister in Charlotte, North Carolina, at the Central Church of God, Loran Livingston. And it was a beautiful, I'm sorry, I'm looking away. I'm looking at my flowers. But it was a beautiful message, and it really spoke to me, the little snippet that she gave me today. And I appreciate that because she knows, Mom knows what it is to be lonely. Mom knows. She's known it twice. Yeah, after Dad died, and then after her second husband died. Yeah, she's been through it twice. She knows. So, and she said she was sorry that she couldn't be down here to comfort me. And I said, well, that's okay. I'm having to go through this. For whatever reason, I have no flippin' clue why. But that's my journey in my boat at this time. To get through this lonely part. And I don't go to many places by myself. I'm usually, when I get off at work on Friday, I usually go by the grocery store so I don't have to make another trip out Saturday. But if Saturdays I want to go to the greenhouses or the nurseries or Home Depot to look at the flowers and stuff, I will. But the first 2 weeks of the month, I really can't because it's my Blue Cross Blue Shield payment and my house payment. So I really don't go anywhere for the first 2 weeks of the month. Don't try not to spend any money because those are my big bills. And so I spend more time at home, and I have way too much time on my hands. I really do. And I appreciate last night. Lori Beth could sense my loneliness, and that's my daughter. And she invited me over to her house with her and Jackson, a baby girl. And I needed that. I needed to get out of the house, even though I have Oasis here. And so that's why I'm sitting outside of my house. Just to get out of the house. Even if it's to sit on your deck and you're lonely. Just get out. If you don't have a deck, sit out on your porch. on your front steps. Sit out on a balcony. If you're living in an apartment and if you have a balcony, sit out on the balcony and enjoy the sights and sounds that are around you, because that will help. And I love the sounds of the birds in my neighborhood. I hear owls. Of course, I hear birds, and I can hear my wind chimes. If the kids are playing down the street, I'll hear them. That brings me so much joy. And Oasis, of course, will bark at anything and everything. And sometimes that gets annoying, but most of the time it doesn't. And I try not to sit inside, because when I sit inside and I get like this, I'll go to sleep way early. And then the next morning I'm up even before the crack of dawn. And that's way too early, because then the next day I'm so tired at work I can hardly keep my eyes open. So it's a balance I'm trying to learn. Balance in my boat. Because, sometimes the waters are rough. And right now I feel like my waters are rough. Yeah. And Pam asked if, we could go up for prayer. And I told myself at 4:30 this morning that I would go up for prayer. But then her message was such a comfort to me. And she was preaching from Revelation, if you can believe that. And that was a comfort. Because it's about the revelation of Jesus and what he means to us. And how we turn to him in our times of trouble. And she did a fantabulous job. That's a mix between fantastic and fabulous, if you didn't know. But anyways, just thought I'd share this journey, because right now it's kind of lonely and it kind of stinks. But but that's okay too. It's okay. And I think being lonely is a part of being a widow. And that's to get you to rely on God, for me anyways, because I believe in Jesus and God, and I'm thankful that I do, because it would be extra lonely and I could get into things I shouldn't. And even if you do believe, even if you are a Christian, you can get into things that you don't need to get into, but that doesn't prevent you. But when you're lonely, you can do stupid stuff. And you know what? When I first became a widow, I almost got into some stupid stuff. And I'm thankful for praying friends and me listening to the voice of the Lord and not getting into stupid stuff, because it could have affected my relationship with Lori Beth. It could have affected my relationship with my mom. It could have affected me not having a house where I'm at today. And I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful that I listened. And right now, as I sit on my deck, I hear the birds singing. I hear an owl a little bit ago. I could smell the honeysuckle. I went and checked on my garden a little bit ago and watered that. I hear my dog barking. Even if it's for 5 or 10 minutes to get out of the house, that's what I need to do. I don't need to go anywhere. I don't need to spend any money. I don't need to gorge myself on food, because I used to do that, shove it in, and I shouldn't have done that, because that affected my health. It made my cholesterol go up and my sugar go up. And I'm not where I once was in my new eating habits, but I haven't gone strictly all the way back to where I was, what once was. And I'm thankful for that. And I'm just having to learn the balance, whether I want to continue my, by the way, I'm getting food boxes, HelloFresh, 2 meals a week. See if I want to do that, or if I just want to go back to eating small things during the day and have one big salad at night. I'm trying to decide what is best for me. What is best for me is not best for somebody else. So, and I'm doing this on my own. I don't have anybody to a sounding board to say, hey, what do you think about this? I don't have that anymore. So I have to sound it out to myself, do it a couple times, do it for 3 or 4 weeks and see if it works well for me, and try to figure out, I knew I always wanted to get married. I knew I always wanted to be a mama. I wanted to have 5 children, or 4. I think it was 4. Do you know what? I got married when I was 21, I think it was. Didn't have Lori Beth until I was 32, and I actually didn't have her. We adopted her because I couldn't have children. My doctor looked at me and said, you'll never have children. They don't say that to them now, which I appreciate because of what I had and stuff. And because to give a person no hope, it kind of affects you. And when I was in my 40s, I'll tell you this, Dennis was still alive and everything, and I mourned the fact that I would never have any physical children of my own. I went through grief for about 6 months, 6 months to a year, because I knew my chance of ever having children was out the window. Nobody never knew that. I don't think I ever told anybody. I may have told my friend Teresa or whatever. But then I had to focus. I had a daughter. I have a daughter who has turned out to be a beautiful mama. And that's all she ever wanted to be. She said she wanted to be a statistician because she was really good at statistics. And then she said she wanted to be a teacher, which I think she would be a really good, excellent math teacher. But you know what she told me? She said, I always wanted to be a mama. And I applaud her because this is her 2nd year of being a mama. And she's excellent at it. She's good. She's a good mama. She's a stay-at-home mama. She loves her baby. She loves her husband. And I so appreciate it. She blesses me, and I let her know that because stay-at-home moms, all mamas, even if you're working, they need to know how much they're appreciated. And she's very much appreciated. And she does good things for her home. But anyways, I went from telling you being lonely, talking about being a mom, because, Mother's Day is coming up Sunday. And I've already sent my mama. Her two gifts should get to her this week. And then I'll send her card off yesterday. And that should hopefully get to her before Mother's Day. And I appreciate my mom. She's been an example. She has shown me what to do and what not to do. Excuse me, my nose itches. And sometimes as parents, we've got to show our children what not to do, whether it's by mistakes we make or intentional. We've got to show our children what not to do so they won't go down that same path. And I appreciate this time that I'm able to extract these feelings out of myself and get them out in the open. I used to write on my Facebook page all these feelings, and then I made a separate group called the Merry Widow group, exclusively for widows, and I express that on there now instead of writing on my Facebook page, because I figure my regular friends got tired of me doing that. But anyways, so now I've made a YouTube channel where I express my feelings. And it's so good to get it out and up. And I needed to get this out and up this evening, just so I wouldn't wallow in self-pity and wouldn't wallow in loneliness. And So, there you have it. 15 minutes of jibber jabbering to you, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope that it's not jibber jabbering. It's really not. It's expressing my feelings, my loneliness, because that's a feeling. It's expressing and getting it up and out, because I've had infections where, the infection would stay in there and stay in there and stay in there, and I had to go to the doctor and get that out, and that caused a lot of pain, and I don't want that to stay inside, because when I was married, when Dennis was still alive, he loved to do all the talking. I loved to keep it inside. And we would joke. I said, Dennis, you should have been made the woman and I should have been made the man, because I keep my feelings inside. And now, Lori Beth said the other day, she said, I think you've gone really the total opposite. You tell way too much. And I probably do tell way too much. But I learned from my mistake. Do not keep anything inside. If you're a widow or a widower listening to this, and I don't care if widowers listen to this or not, it doesn't matter to me, but my widows group is expressly for widows so they could express their feelings, and I haven't had added any men to it, because I haven't felt the urge to do that yet. But I hope that you know that if you ever do meet anybody in your future, fellow widows, and you're a type of person like me that keeps everything buried deep down inside, don't do it. Let your mate be a helpmate. That's what we were made for. We were made to help our significant others, and they were made to help us. It just isn't a one-way street. It goes both ways, and now I learned that, and I don't have anybody to share that with at the moment. And you know what? That's okay. I need to share it with myself, and I need to share it with people who mean a lot to me. And right now, y'all mean a lot to me, even though I may not know some of you. Share your thoughts and feelings with your significant other. Share your thoughts and feelings with your children. Let your children know how much you love them. Let your parents know how much you love them. Let your grandparents know. Your cousins know. Your co-workers know. Because sometimes they need to know, hey, I appreciate you. And anyways. And that way, that will dispel, I do believe, the loneliness. It will dispel that darkness of loneliness. Share with others. Share with them. Oasis is sharing with us right now her displeasure of somebody playing down the street. But anyways, God bless y'all. Love you. Have a good week.